welcome to Roland Boss TV. We're here today with Matt Berry.
Hi there.
Matt Berry, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah. Couple of months.
Couple of months. Witch Hazel. Talk to me.
Well, Witch Hazel was something I did for no reason. Started for no reason. A year or so ago. It's kind of ended up how I had it in my head, which, you know, sometimes happens. And so I kind of played it to a few people. I went on tour with it.
Yeah.
It seemed to, some of it works live. I played it to some people, one of which was a guy called Eddie Pillar, who runs Acid Jazz, the king of the mods. That's what he calls himself.
You allowed to give yourself your own nickname?
Well, he has done. He's one of the rare people that has done, yeah.
We'll let that go.
Yeah, and I just thought he'd say, you know, there's a couple of singles on there, you know, that we can kind of work with. But, you know, he's got, you know, he kind of went with his instincts and he sort of went, no, let's do it, you know, let's do it, and, you know, let's put, you know, just kind of put it out. So it went from there, and then, yeah, you know, and then, you know, people seem to, you know, think that it was all right.
So did you originally think that it might be a record that you would want to get released, or were you doing it as something just as a workaround thing? Or?
I mean, like, because I've always made, you know, my own albums and things, you know, so it was just, you know, another sort of project. You know, but it, you know, it's kind of ended up cool, you know, because it's been, you know, sort of taken on by Eddie, and, you know, it got, you know, pretty good sort of, you know, kind of reviews so far.
Absolutely. Well, I was just saying to you off camera, I had my first listen the other day, and I was really surprised that it wasn't just a joke, and that it was a stand-up album with the ones that are released today. And,
oh, right.
You know, there's proggy bits and folky bits, and you know.
Yeah.
I mean, when you were 15, were you listening to that kind of stuff? Was that the influence?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what were we talking, like early Genesis and?
More kind of Mike Oldfield, stuff that kind of sounded like it had been made in the woods, I think. You know, still am sort of listening to that kind of thing. And that's how I wanted Witch Hazel, you know, to sort of sound like. It sounded like you took a 4-track reel-to-reel into the woods and basically, you know, kind of recorded it. Because that's how those albums always sounded to me, especially the first 3 Mike Oldfield albums, you know, they always sounded, you know, really kind of rustic, and that's what I wanted Witch Hazel to sound like.
Yeah. And so you've recorded almost everything yourself?
Yeah, apart from like the drums and things.
Okay. That's really impressive. That must have taken a while.
Well, not really, because I kind of had a plan as to what I was going to do, so I knew what I was going to do, so you just got to, you know, kind of get on with it.
Right.
I don't like kind of mucking around, you know, if I've got an idea then it's done.
Right.
I'm not one of the, you know, I don't do 90 takes, you know, of acoustic, you know, or, you know, a guitar solo.
Yeah.
If I've kind of pretty much got it the first time, then, you know, that's it, you know, then I'll kind of move on to the next thing.
But you're a busy man with all the acting as well, so you must have had a really clear idea of the songs before you went in.
Well, I mean, like, there was no going in, because I recorded it in my own sort of flat.
Right, so it was just when you had an idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was always going on, you know, I didn't stop. You know, I could have been, say, you know, like filming the IT crowd, but then I'd go home, you know, and kind of do something on that.
So, talking about your history with Roland, now we know that you're a big fan of the synthesizer.
Yeah, I mean, I love all Roland, yeah.
Where did it start, your history there?
I think I saw, and I can actually remember, because I can remember sort of mid-80s Top of the Pops, and Vince Clarke, you know, the sort of new romantic bands, they all used Rolands.
Yeah.
Or I think what it was, because the Roland logo was the biggest, that's the one that stuck out, do you know what I mean? Because Korg was always quite small, but Roland, you know, on those sort of like Pro Mars synths and whatever, was always the huge, you know, so that always stuck out, and I thought, you know, they're on there, you know, and they're kind of using these synths, you know, and they sound like that, you know, then they're probably the best.
Yeah.
So I've got a Pro Mars now, but that's just from seeing them, on like Top of the Pops as a kid, and a Jupiter 4. I haven't got a Jupiter 8, but yeah, I love their, I love their keyboards.
So what you're saying, I don't put words in your mouth, but you're saying that Korg is small and pathetic.
No way.
Roland
no,
is
I love
big
Korg as well.
And powerful.
No, you just had a bigger logo, Smart.
Which sometimes is
well, for the TV, that was, a really kind of good idea. Yeah.
So off the back of this record, I assume that you're going to be doing a small tour, are you?
There is, yeah. There's a week in April, ending up on the 27th at the Garage in London. Yeah. Of, songs from the album.
Absolutely. And songs from past albums? This is what, third record?
Well, it's the kind of, the others were a sort of warm up in a way.
Right.
But this is, I kind of, this is the one I spent, the most sort of time on.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, there might be, some songs from other things, but.
Are you taking anyone out on the road? Any guests?
I don't know. I might do. Yeah.
TBC.
Yeah.
Cool. So as far as when you were going into the, well, not into anywhere, as you say, you recorded it at home.
Yeah.
You would wake up and were you just layering parts? I mean, so you were doing guitar, bass, vocals.
Yeah. And it's that thing where I would have a rough idea, so then you put down a guide acoustic, which in my case usually ends up being the final acoustic, which isn't always a good idea, but fuck it. And so that would be the guide, and then I'd get so worked up about that I'd have to put the bass part on, and then by the time it's like 4 in the morning and you've done it.
Yeah.
And it's all done. And then you go to bed, then you get up again and you kind of tweak bits.
Right.
So you've got a bit of perspective. Only if it's like an hour's sort of perspective, it's always worth it. And that's how it was done.
I mean, how much of a perfectionist are you in terms of, was there lots of tearing of the hair out?
Well, no, but like from an outside point of view, it probably looked like I'm not, but I am. Do you know what I mean? So it would look kind of slapdash if you were to be stood there, while I'm sort of doing it. But no, it's got to be right. It's got to be what's in there, I think.
I mean, you must be really proud of it, because again, going back to how credible it sounds and how complex it is in parts. People are looking at you just as a comedian and think because there are elements of comedy in the record that it's hard for them to take it seriously. But on the initial listen, it's a serious record.
Well, it's kind of, it's not sort of taking the piss. That's the main thing.
I mean, how would you like it to be perceived?
Well, it's all a shock. I didn't expect, acid jazz to kind of pick it up in the first place. So anything's good, from where I'm stood. But it was done with love, and it was done from the guts. It wasn't done as a massive comedy sketch. I'm not that interested in comedy where I would do a sketch which is, a whole album. I couldn't be asked, you know what I mean? It is, it's the kind of music, that I'd want to hear.
And can we expect another record?
Yeah.
Already thinking about it?
Well, I've already started a side project record, and then the next proper record I've kind of started on already, so.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
I just got to say before, the Fender Reverb pedal, the Boss one, is amazing.
Okay.
And
the deluxe reverb.
Yeah, and the other one, and the 63 one.
Yeah.
It sounds like real, spring reverb. Well done.
Wow. I didn't ask him to say that either.
No. Credit where credit's due. It is good. It's a decent pedal. I've put synths through it. I've put, sort of guitar through it, obviously.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought, I don't know how this isn't gonna sound like a, spring reverb, because and it did. It was great. Another bit of Roland talk that you'll be interested in. I was speaking to Andy Lewis, who's Weller's bass player. Weller uses a Space Echo, the Space Echo.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I know he uses one of our pianos, but I didn't know.
He's really into your Space Echo.
Oh
pedal.
wow, okay. New one or the old one?
No, the pedal, the double pedal.
Right, okay, the new one.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. We'll have to send an email.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the inside info.
No problem, man.
Long live Witch Hazel and Matt Berry.
Bless you.
'Cause I know it's too much to take.